Hi guys, how you doing? Me and the lovely Buddy just checking in here. It's been a little while since we've done a video, so I just thought it might be nice just to show you where we're all at. Actually, it's just quite nice for me really to put the video on the side of the gate there and do everything in a very much BHS approved fashion there, as he nearly trips over the rope and then I nearly trip over the rope. At least we're relaxed, at least we can say that. There was a time when I come down here with me life in his hands really, and you know, me heart in my throat, just to get him relaxed. We've done a lot of miles already, me and Buddy, you know, his little horse. I mean, we have spent hours just walking like this really, just getting him to move freely, you know, and then moving him up into trot, getting him moving freely. And we've had some good old stop starts, turning him out on the hills about a year or so ago, I suppose it must be. You know, I thought he was ready to be turned out on some nice fields. I thought it was going to do him the world of good. Well, it didn't really. So, you know, we have reverted back a little bit. He's just recovering from an abscess on his left fore, but that's the way it is. He's also had possibly an abscess on his right hind, and lost half his frog there just because it's so wet in the field where they stand, where I put the hay out for them. Yeah, he lives out as good as 24/7, and I'm really pleased with him at the minute really, because you know, I just do what I can do when I can do it. It's a shame really I'm not in a better routine with him. I am really trying to get on top of my diary so that I have the same routine every day, so that I can get to see him in the morning, even if it's just a flyby, and then do some work in the afternoon. But we all know what it's like in this weather, when you've got work, when you've got a family, you can only do what you can do, and that's all you can do. And that is, you know, my motto now. I'm sure many of you have heard me say it. So we seem to be getting on well really. He's been sat on a few times, walked down the road and back, down the other way and back. It's just very hard. We don't have anybody else to ride out with at the moment. He's great with me on the ground. He'll go anywhere all day with me, but as soon as I'm on his back, he doesn't have the confidence. But it's nice to have him working here in the arena. He loves his work. He comes strutting on down, you know, wanting to know what he's going to do today. But so it's nice to see this video of him, because you know, you can't really see a lot when you're working. It's just nice to be reflective and to see what's going on. So he's doing his nice kind of 6 to 8 metre circles here. And then here I'm letting him out onto a bigger circle and just walking with him as he goes there. So just taking him down the long side. And it's just nice to see this degree of relaxation in him, because the girls are up there calling him. And I don't know if you'll hear on the video or not, but you hear all the pheasants flying up to roost. So that's almost coming to dinner time. So it's just nice to have him in this nice, happy, relaxed, balanced, rhythmical trot. Really good. So I'm just creating some nice big circles here, and then taking him down a straight and then into more circles. Literally just warming him up, seeing what mood he's in today, see how willing he is to listen. And you know, as I was just saying, we spent a lot of time just doing the walk and getting him into this long kind of low active walk, you know, nose out in front of the vertical, just to get him to step under. He's got such a huge overtrack, this horse. His over track is probably about 2 hoofs in walk. But his trot just never, ever really has gone anywhere. And so now I'm happy with his walk. He is getting stronger in his back and over his hips and his loins. Really trying to work on the trot going somewhere. I don't know what that big step there was. I think I got the rope because the whip caught his back or something. So true BHS way, you know. But it works for us, so, you know, I don't really give a shit what anybody else says, you know, and I think that's the way we should all be with our horses, really. If it's working for you, if you're continuously being open-minded and learning, and you're learning from your horse and communicating, you know, opening our hearts and our minds to all these constant new ideas, and, you know, I think that's all we can do, really. So if you get a BHS old stuffy way telling you off because you've dropped your lunge line or whatever, well, you know, I was never made for that then, really. I just want to enjoy it, and I'm sure your horses do as well. So to be able to come down and have a bit of a laugh, that's all we want to do, isn't it, really? So yeah, it looks like we need to be getting the binoculars out, really. It's a shame that we don't have any way of kind of zooming in and you know, being able to follow me around the actual arena. It's funny actually, because where I've put this on the gate, to the left of us would usually be where my jumps and poles are, but you can see that's more to the right of us. So you can see that the video flips itself around, so when I look like I'm on the right rein, I'm not. I'm actually on the left rein. I must be, because the camera's flipped, because the arena's the wrong way round, if you know what I mean. Very strange. Yeah, so anyway, here he is just keeping that really nice rhythm, taking him down a nice long straight to get him to try and open up a little bit. And then back onto a circle. So he has spent quite a time down here stretching with his nose and neck really telescoping out of his shoulders, which is so nice to see. He's staying in balance, and his hind legs, they're not stepping under as much as what they were, but we are gaining some ground and we are coming back. You know, there, I like that. That's really nice. And you know, I'm really starting to enjoy what he's producing here again now. He's done very well, really. He went off for a bit of break in the summer with a lovely pair of sisters. I'm just doing some transitions here. Lucinda and Emily. Lovely girls. They probably weigh half what I weigh. And so they hacked him, you know, and they certainly got him a lot stronger. I think he'd only been there a couple of days, and they said that he won't canter on one rein. Well, he hadn't cantered for probably a year or more, you know, and say after the hills I had to kind of restart, really. So I'm just taking my time with him. I'm really in no hurry to, you know, hit certain dates, to do certain things, and certainly is saying 2021, when it comes to booking people into my diary and that, I've really got to book them in so that I can keep him, or whichever horse I have at the time, in its own routine and doing things, you know, in a little bit more of a kind of planned manner. Because that's what I enjoy most, and as much as I absolutely love my job, I don't know what I would do if it wasn't for my job. You know, I'd probably shrivel up into a corner and start rocking. I love being able to go out and help people with their own horses. But as much as I love it, I also appreciate that I do need to start thinking more about myself and about what I want to do. You know, my kind of competitive riding career, I know, my professional riding career. I know that that's kind of over really from when I had Toby, but that's not to say that I can't still get a little bit of back of what I had now that my boy's 18. So anyway, here we are just doing a little bit of rein back. Always remembering to rein back from the chest, not from the head. So I'm not pushing his head or nose down and back or anything like that. I'm literally asking him to shift his weight backwards and almost downwards into his hocks, and then to see if he can still step clearly backwards. He shuffles along still here. Look, it's like he's on roller skates. He'll just slide it across the sand, slide it, you know. But at least he does go backwards now, where before he always just used to go off to the side, if at all. So we're getting there. It's funny when you see yourself on camera, isn't it? You realise just how many pies you have been eating. Too many pies for me. But, you know, hey, that's life. I just... well... Lovely transition into trot. So you see there's no real change from the walk to the trot. His frame doesn't really change. It does once he's in trot, because he's, and again then bringing him back to walk, no real change. You know, so you're not looking for a hop up and you're not looking for a real downward transition to walk. You're looking to, you know, a forwards into walk. And he's not really going anywhere here. Look, he left his leg behind. You really just have to use him, so he just falls over. He's just one of them oafy type horses, bless him. So, and so you see where, you know, he had his nose down there. I had to train him for a long time to get his nose down there in the walk. We did a lot of walk work, like excessive amount of walk work, to get him to be using his whole body, his whole frame, to stop over reaching and forging. Took me a long time. And once the walk did start to come, you know, say brilliant over track. And the trot, well, I always think you can work on the trot, but to some degree there's still a little bit of restriction here really in his shoulders. He doesn't go anywhere. He will, I'm sure, in time. Today, at the end of our session, we did some more shoulder stretches. That reminds me, I've got to do a couple of videos for a couple of people purely on shoulder stretches. He's not really going anywhere. He's got so much in his tank, and he's just not prepared to use it yet. Because I think I have spent so long just trying to get relaxation, that now it's almost like, oh, she wants me to be relaxed, and this is what I do. I get in this with them, and this is all I do. So, you know, I'm going to have to start giddying him up a little bit. So his shoulders should really be swaying by now. He's built very downhill. He's built a quite straight leg behind, but he does have a lot of power, and he's just not utilising that power as much as what he did previously to when, before I threw him out on the hills. I really thought throwing him out on the hills would help him, and it just hasn't. So anyway, here we're doing some lovely little transitions. And some nice circles. He keeps the rhythm. There's no rushing. There's no tilting of the head. There's no biting or clamping. No playing with his tongue. No starry eyes. No whites in his eyes. You know, all the things that you would think that you would look for in a happy horse there. Happy working. And going forward quite nicely. So I'm really quite happy with him here. And so he's not in regular work, due to weather, due to timing. We have to, again, really nice transition, really happy with that. We have to come down the road to his stable, then to the arena, and obviously reverse it and have some tea and grooming and everything in between. So time is kind of against us all, isn't it, this time of year? We're just doing what we can do, really. But yeah, it's just nice to come out, build on yesterday's work, just get the best out of him that I can from today. I don't care. I mean, we used to come down here 5-10 minutes. As soon as he relaxed, then that would be enough and I'd be getting him in. So, you know, I'm not one to stick to a 45-minute training plan or anything. I literally just get the best out of him that I can get that day. And we build on that the next day. And that is literally, I think, the only way that you can do it. Especially with a horse like this that must be relaxed in his head. Because if he's not relaxed, you're not going to get anything out of him. In fact, you just find yourself reversing or reverting backwards. So here he's starting to come a little bit. And you'll see that I'm playing with the circle and the size and the straight lines. So quite a nice, neat, tight circle there as I stand still. I think I'm trying to transition here to a halt, if I remember correctly. He's only just started these transitions. I think we're going here for another rein back. I went out for a ride the other day with my friend Suzanne. By the way, she has a wonderful 17-hand 3-year-old Irish Draft Thoroughbred that is now up for sale because Suzanne likes something a bit sparky, and this horse is 100% bomb-proof. And I went out riding with her the other day and we were doing transitions with him, you know, being a 3-year-old, as well as to help the horse that I've been working on that she was riding, just to start to engage and again lift his back some more. So I just thought, oh yeah, transitions are so bloody underestimated. You know, I've forgotten how good they were, especially for me as a rider, and, you know, to keep ourselves in balance. So yeah, it's just nice here to give him some transition work. More rein back, I think, here, yeah. Just to get his back nice and engaged. Nice. Forwards into trot. And what we must realise here as well is that I know he's just going along with his head down. He does still look a bit on the forehand. You can see his chest is low. It will come. I'm really not asking too much too soon. I want it to come when it comes. But as he can hold this frame, as he learns to step under more and he works over his back. Here he's coming up off the floor hand. When he's really pushing, the front end can't help but to come up and off the forehand. And although I'm looking here for his stretch to be down and out, it won't always be there. He'll soon find the strength, as he has done now in walk, to bring his head up higher and hold a better top line with his head and neck up. But you see, at first, for him, he's needed to do it this way. And it's taken a very long time. And I still don't know what our transition to canter is going to be like. I know Lucinda and Emily have cantered him a couple of times. Lucinda said he didn't canter on one rein. And I was like, no, well, he hasn't cantered for months. So just walk, just hack, 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 walk is what he needed with somebody that weighs half what I do. But anyway, he went and he cantered down some tracks and he's been out, had a lesson, I think, or maybe two. He's been to another arena or two and they've done all sorts with him. So I think he's done very well. It's just nice to have him back, put him right back to the beginning, start at ground zero again really, and work up for him and just give him every benefit of the doubt to gain some strength and some suppleness there through his loins. And the main thing for me is he's just coming out, he's enjoying his work, he's going forward. And if we look at his hocks, they are stepping under really nicely. So he's still not as big a moving as what he was over a year ago, but it will come back. I know it will. I can see it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, just give us a shout. Just keep warm, keep dry. And yeah, any questions about anything that you've seen there, don't tell me, well, when he's on the right rein I see this, or when he's on the left leg, because I cannot understand why when I put my phone on the gatepost that my jumps are now on the right hand side, because usually if it's on the gatepost they're on the left, so that's totally baffled me. So seeing him go round and say now he looks like he's on the right lane, I don't think he is, I think he's on the left lane. So I can't quite get my head around that. It's like a mirror image now that it's been videoed, so maybe I need to turn my phone round the other way and record it from the back. I've never noticed it before, so I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, anything that comes up for you guys, please feel free to message, you know, engage in some conversation in the group. I'm sure we could all start helping each other a little bit more on here. And just nice to be able to see the video, upload myself, see how chubby I am, see how many pies I've been eating. And yeah, any questions, give us a shout.